Over at the Disneyland Resort, lots of news updates to get to, several things to touch on. First of all, Disneyland is officially canceling reservations for hotel properties through November the 14th. So now we are venturing into November with those hotel cancellations. Very unfortunate to see that once again, hotels are being, kicked out legs are being kicked out from under them as they continue to march down the line of trying to determine when officially theme parks can reopen and sort of keeping hotels quiet until they can have that opportunity to reopen for theme parks. So now through November the 14th, hotel reservations once again canceled. If you're somebody that has booked, as I know a lot of people make it their holiday tradition to go to places like Disneyland and Walt Disney World, out in Florida, there are still hotels taking reservations, but here in California, unfortunately not, as they continue to wait to try and get their overall countdown county-wise in terms of the pandemic, and until they can reach that tier that the governor has put forward, it looks like cancellations are going to continue until theme parks get an official sort of reopening notice. Moving along here, more than 200 cast members are being recalled, and that is great news to Disney California Adventure, as Disney has decided to figure out really how to be creative now that the theme parks are probably going to be shuttered until next summer, potentially. I mean, we'll see what happens, but now Disney's getting a little creative, and instead of reopening theme parks, they are just expanding downtown Disney is all. Yep. And so they've opened up, or I should say will be opening up, Buena Vista Street over at California Adventure Park, making that an expansion of the downtown Disney experience. We also know that recently they got a little creative on the backside of California Adventure and open up a back gate, if you will, kind of a floodgate near the security checkpoint on Harbor Boulevard side, and they opened that up to be more of a retail space, an additional expansion retail space called the Hollywood Premiere Shop or something to the effect of that. And so now Studio 17, Stage 17 as we've known it to be called, is now a retail space added on to the Downtown Disney roster of experiences, really to sort of absorb what is coming into Downtown Disney, as routinely on the weekends, it's booked out. People wait for hours to get in. It shows the demand that is there for the Disneyland Resort itself. So that's really good news. Happy to hear that at least there's some good news on this front, and that several hundred cast members are coming back to work.
Right.
Yeah.
That was like a glimmer of good news from
Right.
like the last couple weeks. And then to see like Carthay Circle opening back up soon, and they're going to have Grizzly, what is it? What's that place called? Oh my gosh, my mind just went grip.
Smoke Jumpers.
Yeah, Smoke Jumpers is going to be open, so people can actually like have a more of an expansion to eat and have like other drink opportunities. And then of course just having that main area to sell. I mean, Christmas is right there, so obviously they have to sell more merchandise, right?
Mm-hmm.
And have people buy presents for people, and then sell more candy because everybody loves candy. It's like gonna be great to like go walk through Buena Vista Street and like see that stuff open, and then I'll get sad that I can't like keep going, but at least it'll be fun, like going through the shops and stuff. I'm just worried about how busy it's gonna be, and like all the parking and stuff and security and all that stuff. So hopefully it gets worked out, but it's gonna be exciting to see the change, just to like step foot in some kind of property that brings me joy.
I'm honestly just stoked for Carthay Circle. I mean, that's like what
I
I'm
wasn't gonna really say anything.
I'm just like,
but I mean, yes,
have that crown jewel back.
I mean, I'm pumped because that is like the place that was our California Adventure hangout spot, you know, and so
we just have so many great people that we know there, and it's just it's always like a warm welcome. It's like a nice hug. We're not gonna be able to hug anymore, but it's always like a warm hug when you see these beautiful faces, and they always just bring you joy and laughter. So it's just nice to see those people again.
You bet.
Yeah, and apparently they're going to have a new menu or something, so I'm excited to see what kind of food they're going to do, and
just keep my grilled
hopefully
cheese.
I can get those ducklings in my body. Yeah, they got to have your grilled cheese, I think.
It's simple.
They always have that line out the door. Everybody wanting to come in and experience the lounge. And
they're going to have to do like a
themselves.
reservation system for sure. Like it's going to be, I mean, that line will be down like Harbor or something.
Sure.
I'm going to be there.
Even going back to entertainment for a second here, like one of the, like when we would first start waiting in line for Carthay Circle, every single time the little trolley boys would come by and you'd be like, oh man, it's so loud. And then, but now like, you know, it started growing on me over time, and I'd be like, oh, there's the trolley boys again, you know, and then now we're gonna go and wait in line, and
Here come the little trolley boys.
The little trolley boys, and you know, Five and Dime and stuff. Those guys were all great, but now it's gonna be sad.
Yeah,
it's gonna be too many people walking around, that's for sure. And like, I loved Goofy when he was like dancing at Five and Dime. You know, that's always like a fun thing. But hopefully they bring him back one day.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see much of what we have already seen out in Walt Disney World kind of get transplanted over to Disneyland Resort and that Buena Vista expansion for Downtown Disney, and having those characters up high, you know, in locations that they can be spotted from a distance. And definitely Buena Vista Street, I think, has a great opportunity for that to happen.
Upstairs, there's like a whole bunch of like areas that you can like have people up there waving and stuff, but hopefully they expand. They've got to expand like a little, just like a little bit. Lamplight Lounge maybe, because that's like has like a wide open area, and then you can like open up like the boardwalk area to play games, because Knott's Berry does it.
Yeah,
well, they have their carnival games,
and I hope they do. I hope this leads to some kind of festival again, where they're just like putting booths up and serving food to people. I mean, I think that just seems like it's got to be. It seems like a no-brainer to me. I mean,
sure.
And I know that they've had a lot of problems with, you know, behind the scenes stuff with their different unions and things like that. But I feel like at this point, now that our great Governor Newsom is being a little child about it, for lack of a better term, maybe people want to play ball a little more now.
I think Disney and the unions are kind of finally getting to a threshold where like enough's enough.
Yeah.
And now they're
they agree
focusing
together.
their anger on someone else, not with each other, on Newsom.
Yeah.
And so I think that's like a good thing, that they're going to try to team up together and just start opening and, you know, doing their own thing with food and beverage and whatnot. Just the rides just can't open. But Disney's playing hardball now. They're like not being Mr. Nice Guy anymore.
Well, the president of the Disneyland Resort, Kim Patrick, he said in a discussion alongside other heads of theme parks in a bit of a press conference. It was like a Zoom meeting, basically, happened a week before last. That was a discussion where he got asked sort of point blank about the idea of bringing in those festivals, bringing in sort of those food festival ideas. And, you know, I think what Disney was waiting for all along, and he kind of alluded to this in his response, was they wanted to do all or nothing. You know, they were really holding out for the theme parks to come back. And I think what the other issue became was, and he had mentioned this in the Zoom call, was, you know, these festivals are really just a drop in the bucket by comparison. But at this point, you know, even if that is the case, it's still something. I mean, and why not?
Easy money right there. It's like $60 for like the annual pass, like taster things, and then on top of it, it's like a la carte, and they charge like $8 or above for their food. It's like way more expensive than Disney World's food.
And if this is all you can do, just do it.
But when we're all excited about 200 jobs, they're like, oh, they're bringing back 200 people, and we're like, oh, that's great news. Bringing back as many people as I can is what matters right now.
Amen.
To me.
How many more people could you bring back with the festival?
Yeah,
Let's think about that.
Yeah.
And then you make a little cheddar on the side.
Exactly.
Well, talking about expansions and opening things up in terms of you know, making Downtown Disney a little bit bigger, even with California Adventure, obviously that puts on the table, well, are they going to open up Main Street at Disneyland? Is that going to be something that they might potentially do down the line? We have it here, according to Newport Beach Patch, a Disney spokesperson, has said that they do not have any plans to open up Main Street USA at this time. However, that might just be what they have to say officially. I can't imagine a situation where down the line, for the sake of further capacity, because that's really what they want right now, I can't imagine them not at least going down that road. I can see that happening. And hopefully so. That would be nice to see, especially to get people near, you know, Sleeping Beauty Castle, and maybe, you know, as we venture into the holiday season, where no doubt people are going to be looking for things to do and places to go. You know, Disney's already proven that they can do these things safely, so we might as well, you know, open up Main Street USA.
I mean, I feel like they could charge for a train ride around Disneyland if people would pay
Absolutely
for it.
Right.
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Just like $20 a pop, you go around once and then you're out, and then you pay another $20. You know how much money you would make?
That would be cool, actually.
That would be really cool to see like this quiet, I don't know, this creepy place, because obviously nothing's happening over there. But I mean, why not?
I'm guessing they can't do that because of the restrictions. But, you know, I mean, otherwise Knott's would be running their train and stuff too. But I mean, That would be really awesome, though.
I mean, that train is a historic landmark. There might be some wiggle room there. I mean, if we're going to play these silly games with the state, if the state is going to play these silly games in return, Disney might as well just play hardball and say, well, the monorail station is probably a place where we can declare it's historic, the train, all those things.
No, that's the only way. You can't use your 2 legs.
You didn't shut down trains everywhere else, so in some unfortunate news, as we have been discussing in previous weeks, obviously the 28,000 Disney cast members that are being laid off across the company, that is starting to take effect. Not only were non-union cast members already excused or given some sort of notice, we're now in a situation where over 10,000 union cast members are now being notified officially that they will no longer have a job. This is something that nobody wants to see, nobody wanted to hear, and yet we're at this point. So very unfortunate, very sad to say the least, that we are seeing these jobs be lost, all because theme parks cannot officially reopen. No doubt that has contributed to the overall number. Undoubtedly, as we've discussed many times, the meaning to lay people off across the company was something Disney was going to do regardless. That was coming. We all knew that from the very beginning of this pandemic, that was inevitable, and so they continued paying a lot of benefits to individual cast members for several months, and now it's finally at the point where because of reduced capacity at theme parks around the world, as well as Disneyland Resort theme parks not being able to reopen, those numbers are finally becoming reality, and we are seeing from coast to coast at Walt Disney World and at Disneyland lots of cast members losing their jobs. We are always thinking about you, and we are forever grateful for all that you have contributed. Thank you, Disney cast members, for what you do. Thank you, Disneyland cast members, for making the biggest impact on us, as that was our home park. We will never forget you.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.